All right, we're live on YouTube, and I will go ahead and start the recording and say welcome to all the folks. So let me do that. Okay, very good. I guess I will record this, right? Make sure I have everything set up. Very good. Okay, welcome, team, gang, friends. Vin here. I want to say welcome to everyone who's watching this live. If you're watching the replay, I want to say welcome if you're watching the live stream over there on YouTube or Zoom. Either way, welcome. Thank you for taking your time to take a look at this program we were just speaking about a little bit prior to getting started on the recording or the live stream. I'm going to jump right into it. This is the passive income system with the Polar Tensor AI crypto trading program. And what I love about this program is you don't have to know anything about AI, crypto, or trading to participate in this program. It is a software. That's it. We just simply license the software, and it's been doing really well. This is a review I'm going to do today, a review and overview. I've been using this software for 4 months now. Actually, to the day, I think it's 4 months, and it's been great. I mean, I have zero complaints. It's been doing what it does. It's transparent. They got the asset protection program. They there's two or three Zooms a day. Like this evening, there's a live Q&A. There's also a launching of a new system as far as for the affiliates tonight. So you'll want to be on that and everything about it, everything about this program. I can go on and on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a quick slideshow. Right now, this review is really for people that don't really understand cryptocurrency necessarily. And I have to do it that way because I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand cryptocurrency. To put it into context, you're probably like me. Most people are. I have a background from the working class. I worked 40, 50, 60 hours a week. I was in law enforcement. Utah's on the air. What's up? Hey, Larry, what's going on? I was in law enforcement for 11 years. I was a New York City firefighter for 10 years. I was in the mortgage business for many years. I got started in the affiliate home-based business, network marketing, social selling space many years ago. And I did that because I wanted recurring income, passive income, residual income, because when I got started, even though I had two jobs, basically, even my wife had a job, we had kids in diapers and we had a lot of bills coming in every single month. So I said I needed something else that's residual that I can blend into my busy life. And it's actually become a lot easier now because what are we doing? We're on Zoom. You could be watching this recording, right? Someone could be sharing this with you. And so I looked at a lot of different programs over the years, and I participated with a lot of different programs. I've been in businesses that promote products and different services. This program, mathematically, and this is not hype, that's why I said mathematically, and we could show math. That's why we can show math. There's no debating math. There's no debating that this program is the best mathematical solution I've ever seen to passive income and residual income. Passive income is an income that's created, and I'll go over that as through the slides without any effort. Like if you have a bank account, well, right, you get a couple bucks every single year from it, that's passive. It comes in no matter what. Residual income is a little different. It's the same concept, recurring income, but residual income is residue of work that was already done. I have a background as a civil servant. So I have, having a cash flowing pension that comes in every single month is residual of work that was already done. My background, like yours, probably most people watching, you probably have a 401k, 457, Roth IRA, 529 plans, things like mutual funds, things like that. So, I've always done that stuff, traditional things. Cryptocurrency was something I heard of over the years. I just never participated with because of yeah, I was optimistically skeptical about those programs. Is it a Ponzi? Is it a pyramid? Is it a rug pull? Is it one of those things? But we're at a point now, it's apparent digital currency, cryptocurrency, the AI. Like if you look at this program, there's a few things. AI we know exists, right? We know AI and we know it's changing the world. Every time they say that it's going to put uh, people out of work. It's just making a lot of things a lot easier is AI. So we know AI exists. We know cryptocurrency exists. We know trading exists. We know crypto trading exists. And we know AI crypto trading exists. So I said, well, if AI can do all these things in microseconds that would take months and weeks and humans could never even do. Why would I not have it working on my behalf? So a friend of mine reached out to me about this program, and I said yes in the first conversation, and it wasn't even a long conversation. So this program is called Polar Tensor. Polar, from what I understand, I listened to the CEO on an interview, the founder Felix Bick. He said that polar, and I like this. He said polar means North Star, and all countries could align to the North Star. And tensor is a mathematical algorithmic equation that you can scale. So the way he said it was probably more elegant than I said it, but Polar Tensor is the future of algorithmic trading. This is an income disclaimer. I just told you I was a civil servant, did I not? So if you're taking financial advice from me, I mean, why would you do that? I'm not giving financial advice, and the person that invited you is not giving financial advice. As a matter of fact, Polar Tensor, the company, is a software company. They don't give financial advice. There's no income guarantees. There's no, I'm going to show you some numbers. Past performance of this program does not dictate future results. So you've got to do your own diligence. That's what I do. I do my own diligence. You probably do that anyway, but this is a disclaimer we've got to read. So it's on you. You bear full responsibility of all your actions in life. Predicting that something's going to happen is like me predicting the weather in a month from now. We can't, no one can do that, right? So here's what I like. Okay. Friend of mine reaches out to me, and the things that popped out to me is I can create a free account. And that's what this Zoom is really for, this video is for, is if someone invited you to see this, they're going to send you a link. Create a free account, right? It's free. You look in the back office. You don't have to fund it. You can just create it this way. That's part of your due diligence. So create a free account. And if you do decide to get started, it's $100 minimum, and there's no monthly. So I heard, $100 free account, $100 minimum, and no monthly. I said, that to me was a no-brainer, right? And I don't like to call things no-brainers. He said it's averaging 2.5% per week on returns. Now that's not guaranteed, but that's what he told me, and the numbers support that. He says there's no lock on the funds, so that means, I can get my $100 out at any time. And he said yes. There is, however, in the first 12 months, if you want your initial deposit out, it is a 10% fee, just like it would be with a 401k. Is worse than that. If you get a 401k or a CD or something, there's a 10% fee in the first 12 months, or in the first 24 months, from month 12 to 20 to 24, it is a 5%, which is, fair. And after that, it's free. And you could set it and forget it. That I like, because when I got started 4 months ago, I'll say that I was busy. I wasn't really busy. It just wasn't in my radar to really look at this thing. But I did get started 4 months ago, and this has been great. It's been great. So do your own diligence. I'm just going to do a quick overview of this. I want to say this too, because when it comes to doing your diligence, make sure you watch a full presentation. I'll show you a link that you can watch a full presentation. My friend Bob, he's becoming a friend of mine. He does a great presentation, crosses all the T's, dots all the I's. He knows all about cryptocurrency. It's a deep dive. It's usually about 40 minutes. I started watching that stuff. I was watching it while I was driving, or listening to it while I was driving, while I was walking, multitasking, because I'm busy, or I just didn't want to sit and watch it all day. But then I started watching more, and then I became obsessed with this program, and now I'm doing it, right? I said I'm not going to tell anyone about this. Now I'm doing a Zoom about this because I have to tell people about this. And because if you were at the point where I am right now, you'd start telling everyone about this. So, but if you're watching this for the first time, you might be, a little apprehensive, like most of us are. You want to laugh? So I put up a post on Facebook about something, one of 3 posts about it, and a guy inboxes me and says, "Hey, I want to know more about it." I said, "Okay, well, here's some more information." I send him a video. He goes on YouTube and he finds all these things like, it's a scam, or the owner is AI. Meanwhile, the owner's been on interviews. Friends I know personally have met the owner and the founder of this company. So it's like crazy stuff on the internet. You've got to really do your own. A guy telling me this, a 50-year-old man telling me, "Well, what about the guy?" I says, "What are we in grade school?" I says, "You got to do your own diligence." And listen, it's $100. So for me, look, I was a fireman, so maybe my risk tolerance is a little higher than this guy. But anyway, that you're going to see that no matter what there is in this world, there's someone saying something negative about it, no matter what it is, right? So you got to kind of cut through the traffic, right? And do your own diligence. And I did that. So you should too. And look, the reason what people are doing it, the world's friggin' crazy right now. So a lot of people are saying, huh, I've got to do something. And I like this program. I am going to show you some numbers right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down for the regular simple person. Okay. Now, this is a monthly returns, historical returns chart, right? So over the last, I think it's 26 months, but this is showing the last 24 months, this has returned on average, over 21% per month. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare this to a bank account. Like we all know what a bank account is, right? And I still have bank accounts and I have money in savings and money in checking. This isn't like, hey, quit your bank account and do this. This is just, I wanted to diversify. I wanted to add something else. And a lot of people do, and the numbers support this. So, what's the average rate, annual percentage yearly return for a savings account is 0.38%. So, in this example, and if you had a savings account of $1,000 at 0.38%, you would make passive income of $3.80 per year, right? That's what the passive income is. We don't have to work and do anything for it. It's going to be there and the bank's going to kind of do what it does, right? So let's just say hypothetically, it was a 1 point a year, 1% a year. The annual return would be $10 on the $1,000, right? Let's just say it was 2% per year in a bank account, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. If it was 2% on $1,000, that would be $20, right? Now that's passive income. However, when you factor in the rate of inflation, which is 3.8%, you actually, and we know this, I'm not telling you something you don't know, right? We know that money, the value of the dollar has been devalued, has been going backwards, right? So decreasing. So we know that. So on the $1,000, you'd actually be losing $18. Over the course of 2 years, you'd lose $36. And over the course of 3 years, that would be $53. However, for me personally, I like having cash on hand. I keep money in the bank anyway. I wanted to diversify when I saw this program saying, I want to make this another savings account. So, as an example, with Polar Tensor and the historical rate average returns chart, you see the average is 21.16% per month, which is 5.29% per week, because it compounds weekly. A bank account compounds annually, it compounds weekly. The average weekly return, let's just call it 2%. Even though if you had $1,000, you would be in a different tier here, and I'll explain this in a second. But it would be about 3.17%, but let's just call it 2% for the sake of math, right? Average weekly return of 2%. So that would be over the course of a year with Polar Tensor. All right. Again, past results do not dictate future results. If everything still stays the same as it's going, that $1,000 would be $2,800. That's interesting, right? Set it and forget it. Over 2 years, that'd be $7,800. Over 3 years, that would be that's $21,000. And we see this like even after 4 months I'm doing this. These numbers are on par. This is what's been happening. So after 3 years, you can see, and again, no one's retiring on $21,000, but diversification. That's what I see with this. Okay. So if it was $2,000, see, I changed it over here on the left to 2,000. If this was $2,000, after 3 years, that'd be $43,000. So now you're starting to look at some income, right? Some passive income. In 3 years, if it was $8,000, just as an example, that would be $175,000. These are some examples just to get you thinking, right? And if you did have $8,000 in this performance here, however, it would be 3.7%, right? And I'm going to show you that in a second, which is tremendous. But let's just call it 3% rather than 3.7%. Your return on $8,000 over the course of 3 years would be $800,000. So now we're speaking about life-changing income that could really make a difference in your life, right? So people that say, I don't understand crypto. Oh, look at this. I'm getting a spam call. All I do is get spam calls all day long. These crazy calls, right? And so do you. People say, I don't understand crypto, right? Because I don't understand crypto. Don't even laugh. I'm doing this, and guys in the team will tell you that they say, well, he doesn't understand. For some reason, I don't really fully, I understand that when it goes into my bank account, it's basically dollar for dollar, same thing. It's the same thing as dollars because you can go from a crypto wallet to your bank, bank to crypto wallet, back and forth. But I'm going to say this to you because sometimes people will say, like I said, I don't understand crypto, so I'm not involved with crypto. But I want to show you something. Go to ChatGPT or Google and look this up yourself. Cryptocurrency users worldwide in 2009, there was less than 100 users worldwide in 2009. Fast forward 10 years, that's 45 million, but it's still less than 1% in 2019. Something happened in 2020, the world flips upside down, and there's a lot of distrust in the world. And we know what happened, right? The world changed in 2020. It almost triples. People using digital currency. So in 2020, it goes to 1.3% of worldwide users using cryptocurrency. Fast forward 5.5 years later, it's 12%. So that is an enormous number. 1 billion people now using cryptocurrency, and projected over the next 5 years, it'll be 30% of the world. Banks using cryptocurrency, governments, right? Institutions, corporations, stores, digital, everything's gone digital. So I think it's time to say, you know what? Maybe it's time I sit down for 20 minutes and open a crypto wallet. That's what I said. And it's been a great decision for us and our family, right? So introducing Polar Tensor. I want you to watch a full presentation. I'm not going to get into this whole thing with Felix Bick because I won't do a good job of it. I'm just being honest with you. Watch a full presentation. If I'm getting your attention enough, then you'll watch a full presentation. All you got to do is create a free account, watch a full presentation. They do a great job, and I like what I hear in these full presentations. Uh, this is something that got my attention, though. This insurance protection, because I've never seen anything like this with any type of program like this where there's an insurance protection. This just protects your deposits from fraud, professional liability, cybersecurity, operational risks, third-party liability, rug pulls, things like that. Someone in his office is nefarious and says, "I want to change everyone's codes and take their money." We have third-party asset protection with this. It doesn't protect us against like black swan events in the market, or if the blockchain disappears or some crazy thing that no one protects us from that. But this protects our deposits from any kind of fraud. And that's why I have accounts for my kids. I have an account for my wife, right? So that's something, I don't know, I've never seen anything like that. So how do you get started? Utilizing the trading software. I'll just go over this and then I'm going to get into the whole tier thing. So there is a one-time license fee here of 10%. So if you start with $100, it is $10. $10. So we tell people if you're going to start with 100, start with 112. Why? Because 10% of that is minus $11.20. That means you'd start with $100.80. Does that make sense? So instead of starting with just 100, all right, you start with 112, but the one-time performance fee is $10. That's one time. The performance fee by tier, I'm going to explain to you what that means in a second. Weekly profit distribution, meaning we get paid every single week. It compounds weekly. So we set it and forget it, just goes in your account. And even if you want to start an account and just not look at it for a year, it's just going to it's just like your bank account. You have to check in with your bank account every day. Same thing. And that's what I mean. Like cryptocurrency people watching a presentation like this, I don't understand. I understand. I get what you're saying, but it's still the numbers are the same. It's like opening up a bank account. As a matter of fact, it takes longer to open up a bank account than it does to open one of these accounts. You can open a free account in 30 seconds, literally, and then fund the account and start a crypto wallet in a few minutes, right? So you can withdraw it at any time. Like I said earlier, it's 10% fee within the first 12 months, 5% fee from month 12 to month 30, well, 12 to 24. And then after 24 months, it's free. I have a friend of mine that he got started and he put like $1,000 in his account because he's another civil servant, great guy, civil servant. He says, I want to diversify because he's got the 401k and all the stuff. He wants to diversify. He puts $1,000 in, and then his dog needs emergency surgery. The dog's better, thank God. Uh, and he takes all his money out. It was like a week later, right? Takes his money out. So you can take your money out. He did pay the 10%, but now he's back in. And that's another thing too. I'll talk about that from a business perspective in a minute. And there's a 0% withdrawal fee. So in other words, if you have your balance wallet, right? Because you have your balance wallet and trading wallet, which I didn't understand, but you will in a second. It's 0%. So whether you withdraw $5,000, $50, or $500,000, it's a $2 USDT, which is the same thing as dollars, with flat rate for withdrawing. Performance fee schedule, I'm going to show you that now. I'm going to talk about compounding returns and the compounding income. Okay, that's passive income is the compounding returns, and compounding income could be residual income. Okay, again, we have the monthly chart. We're going to use 5.29% per week as an example. This is the performance tier. This is what this means. You see each tier here, these aren't packages. This is just like starter tier, basic, advanced, professional, elite, enterprise. This is where you decide how you decide to get started. So if you decide, let me move this out of the way. If you decide to get started for, let's just say, move this out of the way. Why is this in the way? $100. This is like from 100 to like $499 before you get to 500. You'd be in the starter tier. And then 500, the basic, 2,000 to 8,000 is advanced, 8,000 to 25,000 professional. Elite is from 25,000 to 100,000, and 100,000 plus is enterprise. Now, I want to show you the performance tier, what that means. Is this thing blocking the way? Let me move this out of the way. Is this still blocking? Do you got a box there blocking the bottom? Let me put this up here, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why Zoom does that. So you see the performance tier, the circles here? If you're in the starter tier, it's 50-50. So if you have $100, let's just say the company does 5.29% that week. The company gets 50% of that, you get 50% of that. It's the same thing if you use like JP Morgan or any of these places, or a private trader, they're going to take their performance fee. Same thing. So the performance fee here would be 50-50. Once you go to basic, the $500, you can see it drops to 40%, and you would keep 60% performance fee. So as you go to the next tier, you see the performance fee decreases, which means you keep more. So your money's increases. And this is why the amount, do you still see that box at the bottom of the screen? Let me get that out of the way. WTF. Let me do this. Stop it for a second and then go back. What the hell? All right, let's do it this way. Okay, better? No, it still popped up. Anyway, so the weekly average increases as you go through. So let's go to the next slide. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So this is what this means. So at the top, if 5.29% is the weekly average, that means your weekly average as follows in each different tier. So what's the goal? It's the same thing as a bank account, is to grow your account. That's what I tell my kids, put your money away in the bank. They got Roth IRAs. My mother, may she rest in peace, God rest her soul, she always would say it, the dollar in the bank is your best friend. Meaning, when everything else turns on you, you can always, if you have monies in the bank or money access, right? So the goal is to grow your account like anything else, right? That's my goal. Okay. So let's just say instead of instead of 5.29%, let's just call it 5%, because I want to use this as an example. 5%, you see the starter is at 100, right? I want to show you a couple websites quick, and then we'll get, if there's any questions, drop into the Q&A. And I want to show you something. We're gonna go over the compound calculator. Okay, this is a tool that whoever invited you here, they will show you this tool. But I like playing with this tool, the compound calculator tool, that is. And so let's just say the investment is $100. So you saw the $100. I'll go back to it. The $100 is what here is 2.5%. So if I go to the compound calculator and do $100 at 2.5%, and I do it for, let's just do it for 3 years. What happens in 3 years? It would be $4,700. Okay, so that's good. And I like this calculator. It breaks it down. Your weekly profit 250, then 256, $2.63, so on and so on, every single week like that. Let's go to $500. See what that looks like. 500. It goes to 3%. Let's see what we would use on the chart here. Yep, 500 is 300%. I mean, sorry, $500. That basic tier is 3%. What would that look like in 3 years? Calculate the returns. Now it's $50,000. That's significant. No one's gonna, no matter what, again, dollar in the bank's your best friend, $50,000 after 3 years. But you could see, even to get started, weekly profit, you could take it all out, but you can even take the $15 a week out. Maybe you want to take out, I don't know, 40 bucks, $45 a month to put some bills on autopilot, right? Let's take a look at the next tier, which would be 2000. And that is at 3.25%. Let's just make sure of it. We'll go back here. 3.25, yep, 3.25%, $2,000. Make sure you get this calculator because this is fun to tool around with, right? Let's see what to calculate the returns. It would be now you're looking at significant life-changing money or something that you can really have as a nest egg, right? On a $2,000 initial investment. And again, what I like about this is 6 months later, you want your 2,000, you take your 2,000 out. As a matter of fact, let me show you this. $2,000 in what's half a year? 26 months? In 26 months, you already more than doubled your money. Take your 2,000 out if you want. Take whatever you want out. Obviously, it's your money. But you could see that this is a great way to diversify the funds. I'll do the last one at $8,000 because beyond that, it really I mean this gets pretty incredible too. Again, it illustrates the power of compounding. $8,000 at 3.5%, right? Let's take a look at what that looks like. Go to the calculator. 3.5%, and they calculate the returns. Now you're looking at $1.7 million. Big money, right? What does that look like after 52 weeks? After a year, you're looking at on that $1,600 a week. So even if you want to take 1,000 a week out, right, and then leave 600 into compound, whatever it may be. Guys, I'm showing you something that's got nothing to do with recruiting, right? No recruiting. This is something, set it and forget it. And that's what I like initially wanted to do. Now here I am doing YouTube videos, right? But let's go back to $500 for a second because I want to show you something. Calculate the return. All right, $50,000. Now let's just say, again, you start with the free account. Step one, start with a free account, right? Because it's free. Not even to downplay it, but that's what you have to do anyway. You can't have a paid account. That's the only way to start create an account. So you create an account. Maybe you start with $100 and you watch it for a month and you're watching it and saying, you know what? I want to put in more money. This is just an example. Put in more money, get it to 500 because you're going to get 10% more on your returns. I just showed you the performance tier. So you're at 500 and I'll show you and let's just say you're at that point, do like, as an example, what I did was I created accounts for my kids. I have a couple of friends that are on here right now. And I said, hey, bro, check this out. Watch these videos. Invited them to some Zooms. They got started, right? Because they have families, right? I want something that, God forbid, something happens to me that works, right? So I told some friends. Now I'm going to tell everybody. So that's why I'm doing this video. But let me show you something because there's a referral plan. There's an affiliate plan like everything. Like, who has an affiliate plan? Everything. Amazon, Target, Walmart, Costco, TikTok, Home Depot, everything in the world right now. Any smart business has an affiliate plan. But the reason this has an affiliate plan, make sure you watch a full presentation, is because of the Polar Exchange. That's another whole thing I'm not getting into. But let me show you something. I told you about compounding returns, and compounding returns on $500 is $50,000, right? No guarantees. And you can see after a year, that's $65 a week. So that's compounding income. After 3 years, right, you're looking at, $1,000 a week. But let me illustrate compounding income. See this $50,000? Let's just say you choose to participate. Like in other words, you go from free account, then you have 100, and Then you're up to 500. You watch some Zooms. You're like, you know what? I do want to participate. You reach out to me, someone else say, how do I do this? Like, what do I say to people? How do I share this? Instead of going out and like vomiting on people like most people do when they screw it all up and bother people, you do it the right way, like a gentleman, right? Or a gentle lady, gentle woman, right? I know I get some ladies watching. But let's just say you create an income of just $100 a week, and you take that from your balance and you put it back into your trading. The 500 is 50,000 per year, but when you factor in $100 a week, what does that change into? Now it's $382,000, right? And if you look a few years into it, now you're looking at, in 3 years into it, that's over $10,000 a week in passive income. So, you do you. There's a lot of videos you can watch. There's a lot of does anyone have any questions on this? There's a lot of videos, a lot of Zooms, there's calls, and you could reach out to the person that invited you. You can reach out to me if you'd like, and we'll make sure that you get with the person that invited you. But what's going on in the world right now is unprecedented. The price of food, clothing, shelter, insurance, everything else. One of my sons just walked in, and it's like, their generation. How's it going to be for them? I'm always looking for something residual that, God forbid, something happens to me that's lives without my heartbeat, right? Having life insurance is great. Pile of money, 401k, pile of money. I like income that comes in that's equal to or greater than your monthly expenses that you don't have to trade time for, right? There's nothing wrong with I worked a job for a quarter of a century, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Nothing wrong with all my kids have jobs. You don't ever quit your job. But I'm saying this is something you can work that you blend into your busy life. Uh, oh, is it not showing? For how long was the screen not showing, Bob? Hey guys, don't make me do that again. Did you guys not see what I was sharing with you? Let me know. I really hope it was working. Was it working? All right, let me know. Let me see something here. Let me know if it was working. Reach out to me if you need anything, guys. If anyone needs anything, I like this program because it's very, very simple. No, it showed. All right. Thanks, Deneen. And see, not Deneen, she'll show you. The ladies are doing a better job, guys. You got to step it up. Uh, First part was not, you're good, Bob. All right, good. You're good, brother. So let me see. Hey, Jed or Larry, are you guys available to jump on? I know you guys are working and stuff, but you Utah guys, could one of you guys jump on for a second and just, or Bob, would you, Tiffany, if you can jump on, if you don't mind, you don't have to, but if you want to jump on and kind of share what you like about the program, sure. Jed's going to come on. Thanks, Jed. So Jed's going to come on here and share what he thinks about the program. All right. So, I bet Jed's working too right now and that's what we do. We're busy and we blend this into our busy life. So I have some friends. I see some familiar names that just jumped on here, and I'll reach out to you guys too if you don't have an account set up. Um, answer questions. Let me see if Jed is on the air. Do I have to make you a panelist? I think you are, but you're muted and I can't see your gorgeousness. You got to undo. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I
What's
am
up,
actually at
buddy?
work, so I'll make it quick, man. But yeah, dude, I'm super excited about this. Like I always say, I have a bunch of kids. They think they got to eat all the time, so I'm always looking for ways to create some actual honestly, like what I really want is just some freedom, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one of my biggest things I've been thinking about a lot recently is like my kids are getting older. I work 60, 70 hours a week. I work in construction and I miss a lot of their lives. And one of my daughters, she's in high school right now. She's playing basketball. And like I've already missed 2 seasons of being able to like beat all of her games and that type of stuff. And so I've always been looking for stuff that is, you know, a way to create some additional income and actually just get some time freedom so that I can have that time with my family. And what I love about this program is that I think it's actually a win-win for everybody. Like I've done other programs in the past where a lot of people have to like not make money for a few people that make money. And this is something where whether you're like someone who wants to share with people or not, like everybody has an opportunity to like create some additional like passive income. And if you're willing to share with people, I think the opportunity is even a lot greater. So I'm just super excited about it. I'm happy with it. I've also been doing it for like probably about 4 months, I believe. And I mean, I'm really happy and excited about it.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, good
So
man, good man. Yeah, you gotta love the fact that there's, and you said it really the best. There's no monthly, and the truth is everyone makes money without any new money coming in, right? It's just kind of scraped out of the market, and it's just been a great experience, right? So I just invited Larry on too, who you introduced this to. Let me see if Larry's coming on here. Larry, I sent you an invite to become a panelist. Let me see, promote to panelist, and he sent. Hey, here he is. He's coming now. Jed, I appreciate it. Jed, you working right now?
yeah, I'm working right now, man. I'm actually uh in a loader pushing up sand right now. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what
um,
we do. We multitask. Right? It's like we blend it into our busy life. And so, and obviously, he's a trucker, and he's on right now too. Larry on the air.
You got me?
I got you, brother.
Yeah, Jed introduced me about the same time that we all got started. And I'll tell you what, the passiveness of this is probably the enemy, because I think that you can sit around and think that you're going to get better results than you do, but you start putting a little elbow grease into this and your results drastically change. I'm probably making as much on the business side of this now as I am in my trading side. And to me, that's exciting. But you're not required to do anything. You can truly make this passive, but the active income in this is as great as the passive as I see it. And Vince, you didn't go into a lot of the passive side of the business side, which is great. But my hardest sell is my wife, and she's on board. She's liking the passive money that's coming into our account every week, just on the trading side. And she hasn't seen a lot of the business side that I've done, but I'm very excited about what's going on both sides of the coin there. So I appreciate the opportunity, Vince, and to know you and what you've helped me do here in the last 4 months. So anyway, appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate you too, big time, Larry. And what I love about this too is seeing these numbers come in. Maybe you can add to the fact that anyone you introduce this to, no one has any monthly. There's no monthly cost. They can get it's their funds. They can have their funds back at any time, right? It's not like I know you've participated in home-based businesses in the past, and you especially in a product space. You buy something and your money, you get a product, yes, but you can't get your money back after a certain amount of time. Here, it's always there for you, and so anyone you bring in, it's like Jed said too. It's a win-win.
Yeah, it definitely is. With bringing people into, I've noticed there are weeks that I get paid every day. I mean,
Right.
I don't know where you go to get paid every day because you're helping people succeed. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm happy about it. Very happy.
Right on. You guys are probably both like me, like I want to tell more people, and I sometimes at night I'm like, why? How come I didn't tell more people about this? I got to get out and do it because I think I don't even think I know, and you guys know this too because you've been around the space of online marketing. This, and not to be hypey, but this literally is the best mathematical program I've ever seen. You know, so.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, team. Hey, Larry, I appreciate you. Keep your eye on the road, buddy. Right on. Jed, thanks for jumping on. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to the person who invited you. Or if you have, let me just real quick see who's on the air right now. If you need anything, you let me know directly. We can help you guys get started. And that's it. Create a free account. That's the number one step, right? Create that free account. Look in the back office. There's an overview today at 3 p.m., which is a full presentation. Bob again does a very professional job. And then tonight at 6 p.m., and this is Eastern time. Uh, Tonight 6 p.m. Eastern time, they're launching this whole back office system for team building as well. So that's going to be something that's very interesting to see. I want to say to everyone, thanks for tuning in. Jed and Larry, thanks for jumping on. Bob, Tiffany, and Deneen, everyone, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning